Have you ever been confused by someone's silence? When the noise stops, do you wonder if it means they've lost interest, moved on, or simply don't care anymore? It's natural to think silence means the end. But what if I told you that silence can be one of the loudest signs of obsession? That behind quiet moments, there's a storm brewing. A storm that you might not see, but that shapes everything beneath the surface. Silence is often misunderstood. We live in a world full of noise, endless messages, constant notifications, and the need to be heard all the time. When someone suddenly goes silent, it feels like a void, like a blank space waiting to be filled. Our minds rush to conclusions. We assume silence means they stopped caring, that the fire died out. But the truth is much more complicated and much more powerful. Human psychology shows us that silence is not just the absence of sound. It's a signal. A silent person is not necessarily someone who has nothing to say. More often, they are someone who is processing, focusing, or yes, obsessing in ways you might not expect. In silence, the mind works harder. Memories replay like a loop. Every word you said, every moment you shared, gets stored and examined. The brain doesn't need words to keep someone present in its thoughts. Obsession doesn't shout. It whispers. It builds quietly in the shadows. Think about how your own mind works. When something or someone matters deeply, you can't just turn off the thoughts. They creep in during the quiet moments. They take over your focus when you least expect it. This is the power of silence. It gives space for the mind to settle on what matters most. It is a secret place where feelings grow stronger, where obsession can take root and deepen without distraction. Don't mistake silence for weakness or disinterest. In fact, the opposite is true. When a person stops speaking, they may be gathering strength. They might be planning their next move, sharpening their focus, or holding on to hope that others don't see. Silence can be a shield, protecting vulnerability and hiding the intensity of emotions that run beneath the surface. It's a quiet obsession that demands your attention, even if it never comes with noise. This silence can be confusing and even painful, because silence leaves room for doubt. It makes you wonder if they've forgotten, if they care at all. But silence is not absence. It's a different kind of presence, one that operates on a deeper psychological level. The quiet, you see, is the loudest echo of someone's mind and heart locked on you. It's the proof that they are still hooked, still caught in the pull of your existence. Imagine the mind as a powerful engine that never stops when it's obsessed. When words fail or are withheld, the mind still runs. It runs through memories, emotions, and dreams. It analyzes every detail, looking for meaning. This mental energy can become stronger in silence than it ever could in noise. Words come and go, but the silent thought lingers longer and hits deeper. Here's the real secret that most people miss. Silence can create a bond stronger than any conversation. Because when someone obsesses in silence, their mind connects with you on a level that doesn't need constant reassurance. They carry you with them in every quiet moment, turning thoughts into a constant present. This silent obsession can be more powerful than the loudest declarations because it doesn't fade with time or distractions. But this silence isn't just about waiting or missing you. It's about how deeply someone is entrenched in their thoughts about you. They may not show it with words or actions, but their mind refuses to let go. And this is why silence should never be taken at face value. It's not empty space. It's a full room crowded with memories, desires, and a relentless focus that can't be seen, but is felt. There is a lesson here for you. Never underestimate what silence hides. What you think is calm might be a storm. What seems like distance might be obsession in disguise. People who are truly obsessed don't shout it out loud. They don't flood your world with noise. Instead, they turn inward, holding onto their feelings tightly and letting silence speak for them. If you learn to read this silence, you gain a powerful advantage. You begin to understand that behind the quiet is a mind still racing, a heart still beating for you, even if it's hidden. This knowledge can change how you see relationships, how you see yourself, and how you handle moments when things feel uncertain. Silence is not a goodbye. It's a signal that someone is still deeply connected, even when their lips are sealed. As you stay with this idea, remember that silence isn't just someone else's power. It can be yours too. Silence can become a tool for focus, for control, and for strength. When you understand what silence means in the mind of someone obsessed, you also learn how to use silence to your advantage. Silence can hold more influence than words ever will. There is a reward in understanding the silence, a reward in seeing beyond what is spoken, beyond what is shown. It gives you clarity. It gives you confidence. It shows you that obsession doesn't always scream. Sometimes it waits quietly, powerful, persistent, and impossible to ignore. So, don't be fooled by the quiet. Don't mistake silence for disinterest or the end of something important. Instead, recognize it as a signal, a sign that someone is still there, still thinking, still obsessed in their own way. The silence you see is not empty. It's full of meaning. And if you learn to listen to what silence tells you, you will unlock a deeper truth about human connection and the power of the mind when it truly refuses to let go. Silence is not just empty space, it's a strategic choice. When someone chooses silence over noise, they are not just stepping back. They are stepping into a deeper mental game. Noise is loud, fast, and often short-lived. It grabs attention but rarely holds it for long. Silence, on the other hand, carries a slow-burning intensity that can be far more dangerous. Because silence allows the mind to focus, to fixate without interruption. It removes distractions and creates a space where obsession can grow unchecked. In noisy moments, feelings can be scattered, diluted by words and actions that come and go. But in silence, there is no escape. The mind drifts repeatedly to the same thoughts, the same memories, the same desires. Obsession feeds on this quiet. It takes root and strengthens because there is nothing to pull it away. No arguments, no distractions, no interruptions, just the relentless focus on one person, one idea, one connection. The psychology behind this is simple. The human brain craves meaning and connection. When words stop, the brain starts filling the gaps. It tries to make sense of silence, often creating stories, hopes, or fears to explain it. This mental energy doesn't disappear. It shifts. It becomes a powerful internal dialogue, where obsession grows quietly but steadily. This is why silence can feel heavier than words. It carries an invisible weight that presses down on the heart and mind. What many don't realize is that silence can be a form of control. By withdrawing words and actions, someone can create a vacuum that pulls attention and curiosity towards them. This silent presence becomes magnetic because it leaves others guessing, wondering, and waiting. The uncertainty fuels obsession in others, creating a cycle where silence breeds more silence and the mind becomes trapped in endless thoughts. This makes silence more than just a pause. It becomes a weapon, a signal, and a reflection of deep emotional investment. When someone is silent but obsessed, they are not gone. They are simply waiting, calculating, and holding on in their own way. It's a reminder that obsession isn't always loud and frantic. Sometimes it's patient, calm, and fiercely silent. This understanding changes how you see those quiet moments. They are not empty. They are charged with unseen power. Inside silence, a hidden battle unfolds, a battle between reason and emotion, control and desire. While outwardly calm, the mind is anything but still. It races through memories, plays scenes over and over, and clings tightly to feelings that refuse to fade. The brain is wired to hold on to what matters most, even when the world around seems quiet and distant. This silent struggle is where obsession takes root and grows strongest. When words stop, emotions don't disappear. Instead, they transform. The mind becomes a relentless engine, endlessly processing thoughts about someone or something deeply important. Obsession isn't loud or frantic. It's persistent and quiet. It works in the background, shaping how a person feels and thinks without needing to express itself openly. This makes silence even more powerful because it allows the mind to fixate without interruption or escape. Human psychology reveals that this kind of mental focus is deeply hard to break. The brain rewards itself by revisiting memories and imagining scenarios where things go differently, where connection remains unbroken. This repetition strengthens neural pathways, making thoughts and feelings harder to ignore or forget. In silence, obsession becomes a habit, a mental loop that continues long after words have stopped. The quiet mind is like a locked room where emotions are both prisoner and warden. It's a place where hope, regret, love, and frustration swirl together, often unseen but deeply felt. This internal battle is exhausting, yet it fuels a determination that words alone cannot capture. People who are truly obsessed in silence hold on because their mind refuses to let go, even when their lips are sealed. Understanding this helps you see that silence is never empty. It carries weight because inside it lives a mind consumed by thought, a heart tethered by feeling. The stillness you witness is a sign of powerful mental focus, a hidden storm of emotions that persist quietly but intensely. This silent battle is proof that obsession is alive and well, working quietly beneath the surface, shaping actions and feelings in ways you might never hear but will always feel. Silence often hides an incredible strength. It is easy to assume that when someone stops talking or pulling away, they have given up or lost interest, but silence is rarely a sign of weakness. In reality, it takes more courage and control to hold back words and emotions than to express them loudly. Those who remain silent often do so because they are carefully guarding their feelings, choosing patience over impulsive reactions. This quiet strength comes from knowing when to act and when to wait. It reflects a deep emotional investment that is not easily shaken. People who are obsessed but silent are not powerless. They are calculating, observing, and preparing. They may appear distant, but beneath the surface, their feelings run deep and unwavering. Silence becomes a way to protect themselves from vulnerability while still holding on to hope and desire. Psychology shows that controlling one's voice and emotions takes self-discipline. It is a sign of resilience to resist the urge to speak out of pain, frustration, or longing. This restraint builds inner power, making the silent person far more dangerous than one who reacts openly. The silence becomes a silent storm, calm on the outside but fierce within. It is a form of emotional patience that allows obsession to grow stronger over time, quietly but steadily. When you encounter silence, understand that it may be a mask for strength and deep emotional commitment. The person behind the silence is not backing away. They are holding firm. Their silence is a signal that their feelings remain alive and intense, even if hidden from view. This kind of quiet obsession can be more powerful than any loud declaration because it shows an unwavering focus that does not need constant reassurance. The calm surface hides a heart that refuses to let go. Recognizing this changes how you perceive silence. It's no longer an absence, but a presence, a powerful, patient force that speaks volumes without a single word. When someone is silent but obsessed, they are not weak or defeated. They are strong, steadfast, and deeply connected. Their silence is not empty. It is full of unspoken power. So, when silence surrounds you, it's easy to feel uncertain, to wonder if the connection is fading. But the truth is, silence does not mean it's over. It often means the exact opposite, that something powerful is still happening beneath the surface. This is the time when you must own your own power and stand strong. Silence is a battlefield where strength and resilience are tested. If someone is silent but still obsessed, their mind is locked on you, but so should yours be focused on your own growth. This moment, quiet as it seems, is your opportunity to sharpen your own mind, to build your confidence, and to become unshakable. When others retreat into silence, you have the chance to step forward with clarity and purpose. Your value is never defined by how much noise you or someone else makes. It is shown through presence, through resilience, and through the way you carry yourself in stillness. When you recognize the power in silence, you stop fearing it. Instead, you learn to respect it and to use it to your advantage. You become someone who doesn't need constant validation or explanation. You become someone whose quiet confidence speaks louder than words ever could. Remember that obsession in silence is often about holding on without showing it. But your strength lies in moving forward without needing to prove anything. When you own your silence, when you hold your space firmly, you break the cycle of obsession. You show that your peace doesn't depend on someone else's attention or words. This kind of strength commands respect and changes the dynamic entirely. Silence is not a void. It's a stage for your power to grow. In this quiet space, you can become the person who is calm, confident, and in control. You can let silence be your shield and your strategy. When you do, you shift the balance. You become the one who moves forward while others remain stuck in silence, still caught in their own obsession. This is your power, and it is unstoppable. True confidence is found not in loud declarations or constant proof, but in the quiet strength of presence. When you learn to embrace your own silence, you take control of your story. You become the person who doesn't need to shout to be heard or to matter. This kind of confidence is magnetic. It breaks the cycle of obsession by showing that you are unshakable, steady, and fully in command of yourself. The loudest voices are often those trying to fill a void. But real power comes from knowing your worth without needing others to validate it. When you carry yourself with quiet confidence, you send a message far stronger than any words, that you are whole, that you are moving forward, and that you are not waiting for anyone's approval. This shifts the energy completely because obsession thrives on uncertainty and neediness. Confidence destroys that. Being confident in your silence means letting go of control over others and focusing on controlling yourself. It means standing tall in your own peace and refusing to be shaken by the silence around you. When others are caught in their quiet obsession, your calm, confident presence will make them realize that you are not easily swayed or dependent. This is where true freedom lies. This freedom allows you to create your own path, regardless of how silent or noisy the world becomes. You are no longer trapped in the game of attention and reaction. Instead, you are the one who leads, the one who moves forward with clarity and purpose. Your silence becomes your strength, your power, and your statement to the world. In the end, the loudest voice is the one that doesn't need to shout. Confidence in silence means you are beyond the need to prove yourself. You become unbreakable, unstoppable, and deeply respected. This is how you break the cycle of obsession, by owning your silence and turning it into your greatest power.